What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, I did end up doing a video on the hide and seek game mode. There's other game modes I'm definitely planning on doing videos with, like for example the Horizon Open and the event labs and stuff in the future. But one thing I did want to talk about today though is going to be the trial that is going to be in the festival playlist. Now this is coming from a new player perspective on this game mode. I do understand that yes, this game has been out for a while. This isn't going to be a new thing in the game, but for me though, being a new player, it's basically a new experience. And I gotta admit right off the bat, these kind of game modes are so dang entertaining, man. So first things first, if anybody is wondering, the trial is basically going to be 6 of you random players, you and 5 other people against 6 AI, and it's going to be on the unbeatable difficulty. In fact, I'm going to make a separate video because the unbeatable difficulty, man, it really is crazy. But I would say the trial is probably going to be on the more challenging side. I mean, even for a lot of players out there, if you're going to be a good racer, then you probably won't have that many issues, and you're going to be able to climb the ranks, at least in that race, getting past some of them. Funny part is, depending on what's going to be going on that week, or like what it's going to be based on, which I do believe in the Midnights at Horizon, basically every single week is going to be based on pretty much stock vehicles. Like some of the gameplay you guys will see in the background is going to be with the BMW M5. So basically everybody's driving the same car, including the AI and stuff, which in that case is going to be the vehicle you're pretty much going to have to run. So everybody, including the AI and you, are going to be driving it. Whereas if it was going to be a different week, like for example, there was like a C1 where you had to drive like a Ferrari or something. I did end up using the Dino in that one. Then there was going to be another one you had to use like retro supercars. And basically there could be a lot of different ways to it, whether it's like an A-Class Ford or even something like a Toyota C-Class, or maybe even go down to like a D-rated buggy or something like that, or like an S1 Lamborghini. There is pretty much a lot of unlimited ways they can do it to make the trials interesting basically every week. But the thing I really like about this though is there's not a lot of games out there that have something like a, I guess you could say, it's not really a PvP thing because it's more like a PvE working with other players type of thing. Almost like a team-based racing thing, which I do know this game has other things like that in it. But one thing I really found interesting about the trial though is for some odd reason it kind of brought me back to something like Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012 with the main team-based racing. Now I do know this is going to be different because in that game it was going to be PvP based fully. Like you're not going to have AI and stuff in there, then you have to beat them and anything like that. It's just you versus the other people. And I was playing the trial, I'm like, yo, this is a really fun race. I was having a good time jumping into different ones. I think I've done like a total of maybe 4 of them now. Again, I am going to be a new player, so for like the first one I basically couldn't even do it. At least when the game first came out, I had to do all the other things. I wasn't even far enough in to do that event. And then finally, once I leveled up, I hit Hall of Fame, I started to do the trials, and I'm like, yo, these are actually pretty dope, man. I really did find them fun because some players, obviously, like when you go in there, guys, I really don't know why other players run into you and stuff, or they'll like hit you off the road or try to knock you off the track or something. It's like, dude, y'all do know we're supposed to work together to go after the other racers, right? Like, that's kind of the point of this. Y'all aren't supposed to beat me, so I end up falling into last place and I get 0 points. I end up getting beat by all the AI because someone wanted to knock me past, like, at a checkpoint or something. Then I'm going to be cooked. So, yeah, let's maybe work together. I had a few races like that. I feel like it's probably going to happen. And then, like, for example, the one event I did end up doing a while back in the retro supercar one, I did notice some cars are probably going to be better than others, which is obvious. But even then, though, as long as you're going to have a good tune on that said vehicle, I think I was using the Nissan like R390 or something. I think that's what it's called. That car was pretty great. With a better tune on it, I feel like I probably could have did even better. And yeah, that car's going to be competitive. But when you are going to have an open class event like that, the AI are also going to drive some good cars and stuff. Then you're also going to have 5 other players in there that hopefully won't run you off the track, as I mentioned, or at least most of the time. I had a few races where most people would let me pass them, or yo, this dude's going to be faster than me. I also did the same thing. All right, this person's going to pass me, let him go. Like, don't mess him up in the corner, because you kind of need somebody to get in the first place to catch up to the AI, you know what I'm saying? Because doing that, you're also then going to have someone getting the most points on your team and also a bonus for even getting first place. So if you might end up getting first place and like the AI end up beating like 3 of your teammates, and then they're all like 4th, 5th, 6th and stuff like that, they're still going to get points, which can also help you win. Now, I'm sure everyone does know this, but if you guys are going to be a new player, you're wondering what the trial is or how does it actually work, again, it's going to be 6v6, 6 AI versus 6 players. It is going to be on the Unbeatable AI difficulty, which, let me tell you, is no pushover, man. It is definitely going to be harder than the highly skilled. Honestly, this AI difficulty is pretty funny. They're not going to mess up lines that much. They definitely know how to drive, man. It's honestly pretty funny. I was laughing a few of the races I were in because I was like, yo, they can drive, bro. Like, they're legit going around each corner, not even messing up at all. It really is going to keep you on your toes. Like, if you do end up having to rewind or you mess up, miss a checkpoint, you are most likely going to be cooked. Like, I don't think you're going to come back from it. Can you catch up? Maybe a little bit, but if you fall back into last and you try to catch up and stuff, you are most likely not going to be able to do it, especially depending on what car you're driving or the track that it is. There's also going to be 3 events. Normally, it's the best out of 3, so if you win 2, it's over. If you win the first one, they win the second one. You have to pretty much battle it out in third, and then obviously if they win all 3 of them, then you might want to restart and jump into another lobby because you're not completing that. But if you win the first one and second one, you're pretty much good to go. You then move on and stuff. And I really like the way they did end up doing this. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be kind of getting used to the racing, different cars. And then one of them, I remember I had to use like a C-rated Ferrari, as I did mention earlier. I think I did end up using the Dino. And you can definitely tell in some places, like, okay, so we're all going to be in C-rated vehicles. You have the Jaguar and stuff like that, or Jaguar. I know I keep seeing Jaguar, and then apparently it's wrong. Then I say Jaguar, and someone's like, yo, we don't say it like that. But then I had people over in like UK and stuff, and they're like, yo, it's Jaguar, man. So, okay, so I'm going to run with Jaguar, okay? I'm going to go with that one. But either way, though, people would be in front with that car. I'd catch up in like the Dino. My teammate and I would be doing great in first and second. Third and fourth and stuff like that. Other teammates come up in like fifth and sixth. You can win and stuff. It's pretty dope how it really is going to be based on teamwork, which is funny because sometimes your teammates are like, I'm all by myself. Let's go crash my other teammates and all of us lose. That's going to work. Or here's another solution that I was doing. If you know you might be having issues that race or something goes wrong, why not end up aiming for the AI? That way they mess up and they pretty much have your teammates go past them. And then boom, you might have a better chance of winning that race. Who would have thought? Kind of a decent solution, I think. The other one I did end up doing, I think I was driving an older Corvette and stuff, so it was going to be a different type of race with like different classes or whatever. And that Corvette did pretty well. Everyone else was driving a slower type of vehicle as well in that one. So it was kind of going to be balanced and stuff, and you could find yourself passing the AI easier. Depending on the track, depending on the corner, you can like run into them. And you know what? Anything goes in these races, man. It's going to be a trial event, so we all do know people probably jump in. If you're not always going to be playing on Unbeatable, which at the moment I'm not playing Unbeatable that much. I think I've been playing on Expert with an occasional Pro. I am going to go over to Unbeatable more once I keep playing, doing more races. But I can definitely tell after doing the trial that the Unbeatable difficulty is going to be hilarious. And pretty much every single event, like it's going to give you a challenge that you didn't think you had and stuff. And I feel like seeing this in the festival playlist every single week is pretty dope. I really do like the fact that this is going to be part of it because it's not really forcing you to PvP or something, but it is having you play with other players and kind of work together. You might even make some friends and stuff like that. I kind of feel like it's a win-win for the most part. And that's the thing, like, some people might not want to race against other players or stuff, or maybe they don't like PvP, maybe they don't feel like playing it. At least this game mode is going to give you a good reward most of the time, or at least a higher one. It's also going to give you, like, 10 points or something in the festival playlist, so you could probably do the trial and then probably avoid doing some of the other ones if you want, like, 40 points. You legit don't even have to do everything if you do end up completing the trial, so it's probably going to attract more players. And I have jumped into multiple races and stuff, and some people probably are in the back and all that, and I had like a bad start in one race where I was kind of farther behind. I did finish, so I got points, and then once you end up passing like the AI, you get more points, like 100, 200, 300, and the more AI you pass, obviously the more points you get. In first place, I think you get like 700, I think you get 650, or maybe it's 600 and then 50, something like that, but either way, you're going to get the max points being there. If you have other teammates also like top 3 or top 4, you are pretty much going to completely own the AI because they're not going to be getting any points. And that was the thing I really liked. Like, this is going to be the kind of game mode, guys, as a new Forza player. We all do know there's not any other open world racing game out at the moment that has stuff like this, because we all do know Motorfest has nothing like a trial game mode or like having regular PvP and all that is obviously in there, which is only grand races. There isn't going to be like a team-based like PvE type of game mode or something along the lines of that, which I think every single racing game can benefit from stuff like this. This was also similar to the hide and seek thing I was talking about with that game mode. Not everybody's going to like it, but I still think it's going to be a decently fun game mode that a lot of players might be like, okay, well, this isn't regular PvP, right? This is something different. I like this. This is going to be like an arcade game mode, and I am going to touch on the other ones in Forza because there's also like Capture the Flag and a few other ones, so stay tuned for that video. Those are also very fun. But I was laughing a bit though because I was playing the trial going, why isn't game modes like this in like Motorfest or even other racing games? Team-based racing is so dang fun. Now I do know having team-based PvP is a bit different, but having a PvE team-based type of game mode is pretty dope. Throwing in players in there, then having them go, okay, well, here is the hardest difficulty, which the unbeatable difficulty by itself is going to be a challenge for many. Even if you're going to be a really good player, like they're going to keep you on your toes and stuff like that when you corner, or you're even trying to figure out the best approach to that corner, how fast you're going and stuff. The AI are still going to keep you on your feet, bro, so be ready for that. Even being an experienced player, it is still going to take some thought there and stuff like that. If you're a newer player, then yeah, going against unbeatable AI like that, maybe you have 3 or 4 other good teammates that can also win it, then you'll be fine. So I feel like there's a lot of great aspects. It's going to invite many people into it. And I gotta admit, guys, the trial game mode is so dang entertaining. I do feel like a lot of people feel the same way. I do know my friend was like, yo, once you level up and stuff, you gotta try the trial, start doing that. I might even start doing videos on them. Do let me know if you guys would like to see some type of guides or videos on those in the future. I really have been enjoying them. Every single playlist, I kind of jumped right into it. I was going through them going, okay, let me try this card. Let me try that one. Well, I did fail this time. Like, I had a few races in it where I was basically pretty much in there doing pretty bad the first race. The second race, I improved a bit. I also had like 2 or 3 teammates leave, so they were all gone. The last race was really funny I had a while ago, which I will show you guys the BMW footage in the background. It was literally just me at the end of it because everybody did end up leaving in that final event. I think there was like 1 or 2 people left and the other person like left, and then the last person left before the race ended. But funny part is I did end up winning it. And as I did mention, the first event I kind of failed at. Second event I got a lot better, and I think I was like top 4 or something like that. The last event I also got 3rd place. But what was really hilarious to me though is basically every time we did an event, which obviously there's 3 of them, somebody would leave into like the second one, then another person left. The final race had 3 of us, 1 person left. Before I even got to the end of the race, again, I got 3rd. The other person left. But I really laughed, though, because we still won that, or I won that, because we did end up winning the second race, which I would say was more of me, because I did end up getting 2nd or 3rd in that one. So I had more points. I think I had like 500 or something like that, so it did help. That was going to give us a bigger boost, because obviously other people are down in there than other people left. Then the final event, though, I got to the end. I'm like, yo, I wonder if I won it or what happened. And the screen ended up popping up and it said winner, real blocked inside. I was the only person on the entire list out of 6 players. Like, imagine if people would have stayed and they would have raced. Who would have thought? But again, guys, I feel like having a PvE game mode, having players in there going against harder AI is so dope, and I feel like a lot of other racing games can benefit from game modes like this. Maybe have challenges tied behind it, like something like this game, for example, having it in the playlist. They can have a lot of things like this in games that I feel like would really mix it up. Instead of only having one PvP game mode like Motorfest or just PvP focused, it has other stuff in there that's really going to mix the entire experience up. And I feel like even newer players are going to try like doing the trial, and they're most likely going to be mixed, but the more they play, they are definitely going to enjoy it even more as time goes on. Besides all of that though, I could probably keep yapping about on this, but do let me know your thoughts on the trial game mode in the comments below. As I did mention before, I do believe the entire Midnight Horizon or Midnights at Horizon is going to be stock showdown, so basically every vehicle is provided to all the players and the AI, so it's a tad different, like it's not C-based Ferrari or something as I mentioned earlier, like D-based buggies or something like that, or a Toyota. So this one is going to be a tad different, but also I feel like giving everybody the same car really is going to come down to some skill and overall driving experience.